Unit 3 review, example 4. George drove 1,650 miles in 5 days. Each day he drove 5.5 hours and then stopped for the day. What was his average speed in miles per hour? So this is going to be our constant of proportionality, this miles per hour. So we always want to use our labels so we know what's going on. So miles divided by hours. And our miles is this 1,650. And our hours is this 5.5. But we also have this 5 days. Okay? So our hours won't just be the 5.5 because he went for 5 days. So I'm going to have to multiply this together. So I'm going to multiply 5.5 and 5. So you can do that with a fraction or a decimal. So I'm just going to go ahead and change the 5.5 to 5.5 and multiply that by 5. I'm going to multiply my days and my hours. So 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 5 is 25 plus 2 is 27. Have one decimal place. So I have one decimal place. So this is my total hours for the whole trip. So I'm going to put the 2750 here. Okay, so I have my miles and my hours, and now I can divide. So I have the 1,650 divided by the 27.5. I'm going to have to move that decimal over because I can't divide by a decimal. So I move that over once, and then I'm going to have to move this decimal over once. So if the decimal's out of sight, the decimal's to the right. I move it over once and add a 0. So there's my decimal. So I'm dividing with some pretty large numbers. So I'm going to have to kind of figure out how many times this is going to go in here. Well, 275 is roughly around 300. Okay, so, and I want to know how many times it could go into the 1650. So 300, if I just did that once, if I did that twice, 3 times, 300 times 4 would be 1,200, and 300 times 5 would be about 1,500, and 300 times 6 would be about 1,800. So somewhere between 5 and 6 should be this number. So that just gives me kind of an estimate of where to start. So 275 times 5. So 275 times 5. 35, 36, 37, 10, 13 is 1375. So I'm going to try the 6. So 275 times 6 would be 30, 42, 43, 44, 45, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 50. So 6 times would be this 1650 exactly. So I can put that 6 there. Bring down my 0. 275 will go into 0, 0 times. So his speed is the 60 miles per hour. That's the answer to my question. What was the average speed in miles per hour? So I had to take my miles, I had to multiply my hours times my days to get my total hours, and then I had to divide with some pretty big numbers to get 60 miles per hour.